Hey, this is Mike from the One Stop Co-op Shop, and it looks like I've been bitten by the war game bug again, because today I'm showing you 65, a squad skirmish game set in the Vietnam War from Flying Pig Games. And quick disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of this game. Specifically, though, I'll be showing you the gameplay in the separate expansion, Alone in the Jungle, which provides solitaire rules for the system, which is usually 1v1. The solitaire system comes with 6 different scenarios, and some of them are very narrative-based with surprise events, but the one I'm going to show you today, which is scenario 4, is a bit more replayable and has a bit more of a random factor, and I think it's a good one you can try over and over again and enjoy. The basic theme of this one is that our squad has gotten all muddled up in this village, and they're being attacked by a lot of North Vietnamese army soldiers. And they call in artillery, but something goes wrong with the communication, so artillery fire is going to rain down on both me and the enemy. Like usual, I'm going to quickly explain how setup of the game works and some of the basics of play, and then I'll get into the playthrough, but if you want to skip straight to that, use the timestamps. And if you like the work you see here on the One Stop Co-op Shop, please consider supporting us through Patreon, join the conversations on our Slack and Discord channels, listen to our podcast on Sundays, and please subscribe to the channel to watch the rest of our content. So the first part of setup is putting out the map. The scenario will tell you which ones you use. I picked this one also because it's just a single map, so it's really a fast and furious combat. And they'll have you sometimes lay down some extra terrain pieces, so here I randomized buildings, both the red ones, which provide better defensive capabilities, and the smaller ones with a black dot in the middle. Most of the units in solo play will begin as mystery markers where you don't know what they are, and they'll only be exposed by certain actions and events. So I'm going to put all these people in the bag. I've got some sappers, some like close combat bomb troopers. I've got some machine gunners, some basic soldiers, and also a couple of 2x. If I draw those, there'll be 2 guys in the square, which is not very fun at all. As for my force, it's pretty straightforward. I've got 2 rifle squads, 2 M60 units, that's a heavy machine gun, and 2 leaders, Dixon and Black. And this mission is unusual for the system in that you randomize where you start. Every unit's going to start in a different one of these buildings, both the ones pre-printed on the board and the ones we've added. And they say you can use cards to randomize between these 12 spots, but I'm just going to use a 12-sided die. And I'll be using this for the artillery that's coming in randomly as well. I'm just going to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's basically just reading right to left and then top to bottom when there's more than one in the same column. So I'm going to roll for each of my rifle squads, each of my M60s, and also for each of the mystery counters for the North Vietnamese army. I'll do that off camera and just show you the results. So I actually like how this worked out for several reasons. The biggest group of buildings, I happen to have kind of a strong point here because only 1 Vietnamese unit ended up near me and I've got the rest under control. And also very nice, most of my units are in the stronger red buildings. Well, except for over here, I guess. Now finally I can put my 2 leaders individually with different units. And I think it kind of makes sense to have them double up with some of the people who ended up off by themselves. These guys are going to be right in combat pretty quickly, so that should work. So before we get into gameplay, any Vietnam unit that is next to an American soldier is revealed, which means I'm just going to draw a token. Like for this one, I got a sapper, a bomber unit. And you keep the mystery token, you just flip it over because in this case that red circle is going to be used to determine when they activate. So I'll go ahead and do the couple other ones we have. And a bit worrying, we did get a double pull up here, so good thing Dixon's there to help out the machine gunner in that hex. Alright, then you have to shuffle the solo cards and the regular action deck, and you're ready to play. So here's how the basics of a round work in 65 solo. And just to note, each scenario has a number of turns or rounds you have to play through, in this case 7, so we're starting at 1 here. So first the player will draw 4 cards from the action deck. And if any of them are an end turn card, there are 4 of these in the deck, you're going to put it to the side. And basically that's a timer to advance the round. Whenever 2 of those have been drawn for any reason, whether it's in your hand, for combat results, they're going to go over here, and when you have 2 of them, you'll advance the turn marker 1. You do draw a replacement card, so I would always have 4 cards to start the turn. Next you draw and discard 1 more card, and you're going to look at this little number down here on the left. And this is the initiative draw. You're going to look at how many mystery markers are on the board. It's basically how many hexes have Vietnam units. So here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what they started with. And if the value of the card drawn is greater than that number, then the Vietnamese units have initiative. So here they would need a 7, which they didn't get. If it's equal to or less than the number of mystery markers on the board, then the Americans have initiative, the player. Some of the cards will also say miss, and that always means the Americans get initiative. On an American turn, you have a few options. You can first choose to pass and do nothing. But mainly what you'll do is you'll play one action card, which is any of these green ones. You could shoot with a hex of units, one or more soldiers there. You can move, you could fast move. And there's some more specialized actions like Bloodlust lets you take away a shaken marker, basically a negative marker on one of your units. You'll also have yellow support cards. Those are used to modify other actions. But generally speaking, barring some special ability, you're only going to play one card on a turn. So like just fire or move in this case. Generally speaking, you'll pick one hex to activate, and you don't have to do everyone in that hex, so I could have just Black, the leader here, shoot, or just the rifle unit move, or I could have both of them do stuff, but again, it depends on the action. And the enemy AI won't do anything on my turn unless I move around near them, in which case they get to draw a card and have a chance of op-firing at me. You'll see how that works when it happens in the playthrough. Or if I charge into a space with enemy units, we have an assault combat where we both attack each other. After I've played an action card, or not, you actually can choose not to play a card but still do the next step. I can then discard up to 2 cards from my hand to kind of cycle through the deck. That'll help you get cards you need, like if you don't have anything to shoot with in your hand, but it also brings up a greater chance of drawing an end-to-turn card and getting closer to the round ending. Once I've taken my turn, generally playing one action and maybe discarding 1 or 2 cards, we get to an enemy AI card, and I draw the top card of the solo deck. And the first thing I'm going to check is who the card is activating. In this case, it has a black circle. So I look for any mystery markers that have a black circle. In this case, it would just be these sappers in the bottom right, because the mystery marker associated with them is a black circle. And then you see what they do based on their stance in the scenario. And this changes sometimes within a scenario, but in this one, they're all in skirmish stance. So usually it'll say either fire or move. Now in this case, we got a random event, which means we would draw another card and see what random event it caused. But if they're firing, it'll tell you who they're shooting at. If they haven't been revealed yet, it'll show you what the result is, because you don't know what kind of attacker they are. If they have been revealed, it'll conduct regular combat, which I'll show you in a second. Whereas if they're moving, it'll tell you what their target is for movement and how they move. That's all on a little handy-dandy reference chart on the back of the rulebook. And sometimes multiple units will be activated by a card, like it might have multiple symbols, or you might have more than one unit with that symbol. And what you do is you just do the ones closest to American units first, and if there's a tie, you choose what order they activate in. And if a solo card activates more than one unit, you draw a new card for each one, but you ignore the symbol at that point. You're just seeing what each new unit does with their activation. Now, generally speaking, after a unit, whether it's AI or yours, does anything, you're going to mark them with a little token to show they've activated and can't do anything else for the round. They'll get a fired token if they attack or ops fire, a move token if they move, and an ops complete token, which is a more complete ending of their turn because moved and fired can sometimes be removed, but ops complete never can. And this will usually happen if you move and fire or rally a unit or have assault combat. That's going to take out your unit for the entire round and won't be able to act anymore. After each solo turn, you're back to an American turn. You draw back up to 4 cards, again, immediately discarding and resolving any end turn cards you get. And that's basically it until a turn around ends. And there's a few ways that can happen. First of all, as we said, if you get 2 end turn cards, it ends right away. Second, if every single unit on the board is no longer eligible, they've either fired or moved or have an ops complete, then the turn ends. And third, if all of the American units have gone and nothing happens for 3 turns in a row with the solo player, the turn also ends then. And at the end of the turn, you're going to take away all of the fired, moved, or ops complete things so people can act again. And then some units that never activated can do reserve movement and basically move if they're not too close to enemies. But in this scenario, there is no reserve movement, so it's a little bit simpler to learn. By the way, one small edge case, once only 2 or 1 AI unit are eligible on the board, haven't activated yet, then they'll activate when either the symbol or the color matches instead of both. So a red circle or a black triangle would activate with this card. Now to talk about movement and attacking and actions, let's look at a unit. So a lot of the stuff we can totally ignore, all these little asterisks in the corner, because that's just consistent for leg-based kind of regular people units. The game also includes helicopters and tanks, but those aren't used in solo mode, so you don't have to worry about them. So what you do have is the unit's firepower against other soft targets, which is everybody in solo. Their movement speed, which is generally going to be 3 or 4. The power actions that are available to them, so for riflemen, they can either shoot a grenade to do extra damage, or they can fire smoke grenades. And finally, special kind of always on abilities. So these are ones you have to trigger with a special card. These ones are always on. In this case, Riflemen can initiate assault combat. If they don't have that little sword machete symbol, they can't. And just to show you briefly how shooting works, because movement is super simple, each open space is 1 movement. In this case, moving into a building or a jungle is 2, so it's all pretty basic. When you shoot at somebody, like let's say this Rifleman wanted to shoot at that guy in the building, you first look at their firepower, which is 2, and if they're within 1 to 2 spaces, for most units they get a +1 bonus, whereas if they're at long range, they can get a minus. Then you adjust it based on their cover. Like I said, buildings with a black dot are weaker. They only subtract 1. So in this case, that would be 2. +1 would be 3. -1 for the cover would be 2. And there are other things that can boost. Like if I did a power attack, this person would fire a grenade and get +1. And how the actual attack works is whatever number you end up with, let's say it was 2, that's how many cards you're going to draw to see if you hurt the person. For combat between leg units, which again is all you do in solo mode, you're just going to look for the color of the hit, or if there even is a hit in the bottom right. A green hit is for most ranged attacks. A red one gets added in assault combat, so it's extra deadly. And if you move an attack, only red and yellow hit, which is less good odds for you. And the first time a unit is hit, they are shaken, which is pretty tough to get rid of. You have to spend your whole turn just rallying. The second time they're hit, they're reduced to a weaker side, and then if they're both shaken and reduced when they're hit, they are removed entirely, which for the enemy AI will also take away their mystery token. And one more quick note, you only reshuffle the action deck in solo when all 4 of the end turn cards are out of the deck, so you always have the chance of the turn ending quickly. But the solo deck you only shuffle when the entire deck has been gone through. So with that out of the way, let's see if our soldiers can survive this attack. So we're in round 1, let's get my hand. We've got a Let's Get 'em, which could be good for a kind of combo charge to assault one of the guys. Reds are unexpected cover. I didn't show those in the how to play, but they're reactions when other things happen, like helping somebody survive an attack. We got a fire and move, and this fire has a power, so I can do a super fire attack. Ooh, a critical hit to boost a fire and a move and fire. I like these cards a lot. All right, let's see who has initiative. 6. Oh, and it is an end turn, so we already got our first one. That's not great. But the 6 does mean that I get initiative because that's not greater than the 6 units they have on the board. So I do kind of want to rush in with these guys to attack them. But sappers are a bit more dangerous to me because they can basically throw explosives right next to them. So I think I might start off with... Actually, that guy could hit both of them, so let's have them go first. So I'm going to play my fire with power to really try to take this guy out. So it's 2 firepower +1, that'll be 3, and because they're adjacent, it'll be +1 more for 4. And I can have other units in the hex help out. They just add their basic firepower, so that would get us to 5, and sure, might as well do that, I guess. So that's 5 firepower, -2 for being in a stronger red building, so we're going to draw 3 cards. So first one, Destroy, sounds real nice, but that's only for tanks and things, so since there's no hit, that's a miss. There's 1 hit, we're looking for green, and there's 2. And remember, if any of those had been an end turn card, we would have put them with the other one, which would have immediately ended the round. So 2 hits will first shake these sappers, then reduce them, so they are much less of a threat now. But I do have to mark these guys. Black gets a fired token. And if you use a power, you get a ops complete instead of fired, so that rifle squad is not going to be doing much. And I could get rid of some cards, and I just realized critical hit only works against vehicles, so I will discard that. The other 2 seem fine. I don't redraw yet until after the solo turn. So let's see what they're doing. So we're looking for red triangles and circles. We've got, looks like 3 of those. Gosh, half their force. So we'll draw a different card for each of those 2 guys, but let's go ahead and have the shaken, injured guy go first. Oh, you know, I did forget one thing. It says after initiative, we have to do our artillery at the beginning of each round. So we're going to roll a d12 and to see who gets smashed. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No! So my M60 does get its cover of 1, but I'm going to have to draw 2 more damage cards because the artillery hits for 3. That's a hit, and luckily just a yellow. So only 1, which will just shake them. If they're shaken, they will always become unshaken and become ops completes. All right, next let's draw for the circle guy. Okay, so he is going to fire at the nearest target, which are clearly the people right next to him. Now, if they were still hidden, so I didn't know who they were, we would use this little result thing, and basically we would just see how many hits they take based on the kind of cover they're in. But we know it's a sapper and a rifle, so we're just going to resolve it normally. And these guys will attack over here, and you can't attack a hero if they're with a unit until the units are dead, or if you're a sniper. And normally they would combine their attack and attack the same person, but these sappers are going to throw a satchel charge that'll basically be divided among both guys in the hex. And that is a 5 firepower, luckily down to 3 with the building, but still not great. So that's 1 hit, 2 hits. Okay, and only 2. And since it gets divided, they are both shaken, but neither is actually injured yet. But the rifle will try to do that, so they're 2 firepower, plus 1 from being so close, minus 2 for the building, so that's a single 1, and they're shooting at the M60. They can't attack the hero. And they got a hit, so my M60 is reduced. That does mean the sapper is ops complete, and the rifle will fire. And finally, this last rifle, their card tells them to move, and the movement says Objective Cautious. And they have this little matrix of stuff, so looking at Objective Cautious. So if AI holds sufficient objectives to win, that doesn't really apply in this one. Because there are no objectives, the only objectives are the unit closest to you. If not, advance towards nearest objective. Oh, it looks like they're going to actually charge into close combat. So if able to reach an objective, enter if unoccupied, or occupied only by shaken enemy units. Oh man, so they're going to charge into my machine gun? This is bad. So this guy is going to charge in here. This is very bad for me. Oh, I just realized I had an unexpected cover. I could have played to maybe save my M60, but it's not going to help here. If I had a fire card, this guy could shoot at them as they move within his line of sight, but he'd have a chance of hitting myself, so I'm not going to do that. So how Assault works is if you've got the Assault ability, like these guys too, they get to draw as many cards. They ignore range and terrain, so they'll just draw 2 for damage. But my M60 does not have the machete symbol, so they just draw a single card, unfortunately. And since they're shaken, normally it's simultaneous, but they have to survive these guys drawing 2 cards against them before they get a chance to respond. So let's see. Don't forget, green and red hits will hurt. Oh, awesome. A miss. And a miss? What? Okay, well, that was phenomenal. Come on, M60, take him down. Ah, yellow. So that was a very uneventful assault. Okay. If they had done more hits to me, they would have made me retreat, but instead they're going right back to where they were. So, whew. That was a close one. Now, we still both get an ops complete because my M60 was clearly very busy fighting for their lives. And that was it, a very busy solo turn. Now, the one good thing is that almost all of their units are activated, whereas I still have a bunch of mine, but if the turn ends suddenly, that won't help me at all. Okay, so I'm going to draw back up to 4. Good, no end turn card yet. Perfect. This is just what I was looking for, a rally 2. I'm going to unshake both my guys up there before they can get hurt more. Now, it does, unfortunately, make them both ops complete. So they won't be doing anything, but hey, they're alive. And I'm not going to discard anything because I don't want to go through the deck any quicker and lose my other actions. Back to solo. So we're looking for black triangles and red circles. And if the word adjacent was here, we'd also activate people who have not gone yet who are adjacent to my units. So we do have a black triangle over here. The rest don't apply yet. And we still have 3 enemy units eligible, which means we don't go into the rules where just the color or the shape has to match. So just this person's activating. And they're going to move toward the enemy with a brash mindset. I think they're probably going to attack me again. Now, I might get lucky here and I might not, because they're going to charge straight towards me. Unrevealed tokens only have 2 movement, which means it would cost 1 to go into the brush and then 2 to get to the building. They couldn't reach it. But the second they get here, I reveal who it actually is, and if they then have the extra movement point they need, they will charge in. And I unfortunately only have move and fires, which do not let me shoot in opportunity fire. Darn it. And these guys are sappers, which means they have 4 movement, more than enough, and they have a plus for their machete, so they're even better in close combat. Oh man, this is a rough turn. So they count as having 3 firepower with their bonus close combat ability. I still only have 1, although it is simultaneous since I'm not shaken. So let's see how they do with their 3. That's a hit, no hit, and a hit. Oh, and an end turn, so after this we will end the turn. I won't get to respond yet. So 2 hits, I'm shaken and reduced. Yuck. My 1 reply. Good, is a hit, so they're shaken too. I can deal with that. But now since they got 2 hits and I only got 1, I have to retreat directly away from them. Puts me, oh yeah, this is this is definitely great. Oh, and by the way, I didn't say how victory is calculated for this scenario. If one side is wiped out, of course the other side wins. But otherwise, at the end of the 7 turns, you look at victory points. You have 1 victory point for every unit you eliminated, and 1 victory point for every building you have people on. So it's not looking great for a start. So at the end of the round, we're going to take away all the ops complete and the fired tokens, but not the shaken. Those hang around. I can choose to keep 1 card in my hand, but that's it. Let's see, let's keep the unexpected cover. The 2 end turn cards stay out of the deck, and I don't reshuffle either of the decks. That means that now I've only got 2 cards left in the deck, so it should kind of somewhat mitigate and even out the luck of getting them somewhat early. But the turn advances to 2. I get my hand up to 4 cards, no end turns, and good, I got a rally in there, some fires, finally a normal fire. And let's check initiative, they still have 6 guys. So I will have initiative. And finally, let's roll for the artillery. Come on, get those guys. 12. So that's yes. So we don't get to see who's getting blown up by the artillery until we resolve the attack. In this case, the basic building provides 1 cover, so there's 2 hits coming. Or no hits. Or no hits. Oh man, another end turn. So okay, we are just 1 away from ending it again. Well, still glad they didn't hit me, but yeah, let's get some stuff going. Alright, first things first, let's like try to charge in and take these guys out, or should I attack them? You know, let's attack in here. So I'll do let's get him. I'll activate both these guys to move in. And that way the sapper over here won't be able to get line of sight through the building to attack us. So we both go in. All of us have got the machete symbol, so we've got 4 firepower to their 2. And it's all simultaneous, so let's see. 1. That's a miss. Yellow. Miss nothing. Green hit. Red hits, so they will be reduced and shaken. And their 2 attacks has to be spread evenly. So that's a miss and a hit. So great, just one of our guys will be shaken. That's not bad at all. And that means they are running right into the middle of nowhere to say hi to my machine gunner. And everybody involved is ops complete. And I actually like all of my cards right now. A rally to unshake one of my guys. Fire and move is always good. And then the unexpected cover. So let's just draw our first AI card for turn 2. Okay, black circle. Only one is down here, and I just ran away from them, so I'm feeling good about that. Let's see, they're going to move toward an objective in a brash manner. So they're just going to rush towards my closest guys as quickly as they can. They've got 4 moves, so they're actually going to charge right into close combat. They've got 3 firepower with my guy shaken. He's got half firepower. So he'll attack after these guys have gone. So I'll attack for 2, then he'll attack for 3. They'll be simultaneous, and then we'll get my 1 afterwards. So let's go and do his 3 first. Nice, a miss, a hit, and a hit. So again, that has to be distributed evenly, so I'll shake this guy, and then I'll reduce them because they'll have already attacked for their full value, so it won't really matter. So now, actually, I get to attack back with 4, because remember, they weren't reduced. So 2 of it was simultaneous with that guy, and then the other 2. Miss, hit, hit, hit! Awesome! So 3 hits is a complete kill, because it's shaken, reduced, gone, which means the mystery token goes away too. So that's my first victory point. I'm glad I survived that. Now, the turn's going to end really soon. Let's try to get something going. I have to draw a card. Okay, so I got fire with power. That's pretty good. Move. I could rally my guys. So I'm thinking I could try to weaken that sapper. If Dixon shoots, he can do a power shot with the grenade. The M60 can support, so that'll be 3 firepower, plus 1 for range, so 4, but then minus 2 for the building, so only 2. Is that worth it? I could instead rally my M60, but I'm actually feeling okay about this area. My M60 could even shoot in there. He's got no cover, so that would be pretty decent. Oh no, that's right. If you're shaking, you can't fire, so that won't work. These guys could try to finish off those sappers. Okay, for now, let's try to weaken this super hex here. So I'm going to have Dixon fire with a power attack, M60 supporting. So again, that'll be 4 firepower minus 2, so 2 against the adjacent sapper. All right, and only green hits, so that's 1. Only 1, darn it. So he's just shaken. Next solo card. Okay, green circles. Wait, there are actually none of those? Red, red, green triangle. Awesome, so that means it's just a skipped card. They don't activate. So now I kind of want to run the deck out because I'd rather the turn end before they've done anything nasty to me. So I do have to draw back up to 4. Oh, and there we go. So I just immediately on the turn, don't even get to take my turn. But I'm kind of okay with that because I did a bunch and they didn't get the chance to do much in return. So that's pushing us to round 3 out of 7. All of our activations are gone, but oh my gosh, this entire area is shaken all to heck. I can only keep 1 card. It's between the rally or the fire and move. I think I want to be able to attack for sure. And since all 4 end turn cards have come out, I do reshuffle the entire deck now, but not the solo deck. That only goes when I go through the whole thing. Okay, I draw back up to 4 cards. And no immediate end turns. Ooh, a light wounds. That can help me. A retreat. So lots of things potentially stay alive here. Draw for initiative. They're down to 5 now because I defeated one of those units. But I'm still definitely having initiative. Good. And here comes the artillery on 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No! That's a weak building. So 2 attack coming through. Yellow, green. So just 1 hit. So I guess I'll reduce this guy and, oh man, they're both about to die. Well, I don't have any rallies, so let's go and have them attack again, I guess. The same thing I just did, although I don't have a power this time, so it'll be one card. Is that worth it? Well, I do have a bit of a Hail Mary with that, because, look, play after an attack against a leg unit, remove the target unit if it's reduced and shaken. So if on that one card draw I hurt the sappers, I could just immediately eliminate them. Now, you know what? Let's go for it. So I'm playing the fire card on both of them. So Dixon will lead, so it's a 1, +2 for the range, +3 for the M60. Come on, get a hit, get a hit. Ah, no, okay, so that would have been a hit in Assault, but I needed a green here. Darn it. Let's see. The aim shot, again, is only good for tanks. I don't necessarily want a fast move, so I think I'll just discard that. Okay, solo card. Red circle and black triangle. That doesn't sound good. That's all of those guys, all of those guys, and all of those guys. Yikes. So all of them are within 1, so I can choose who goes first. Let's see, what are they doing with this one? Moving, which means probably charging into combat with me. Well, you know what? I don't mind the sappers doing that, so let's go for it. And yeah, they're going to go toward an objective, Brashly, and again, the objective is my guys, so let's see if we can get them with this one. Then we'll draw for the other two. So they still have the +1 bonus from their special ability, so they'll be 2 firepower, and I am 3, but they're dividing it between my two guys, and I'm hitting it all on them, so hopefully they're dead. So we'll do their 2 first. That's a hit, and there's our first end turn. But a miss, only 1 hit. I think I'd rather put the shaken on the leader. The rifles are kind of more important here. My 3 attacks back, come on. Yes, 1 hit. 2 hits, that's already enough, so we stop there. The second somebody's dead, you don't have to draw anymore. So there we go, another sapper dead, another victory point. Apparently my winning strategy here is to let them charge at me. Both these guys are ops complete. Let's get to our other 2 activating units. We can do the red circle first. Okay, so it's going to be a random event for the rifle, whereas the sappers will just do ops complete. And the random event is bravery. And it says to remove the shaken marker from the communist unit closest to an American unit. So we got a few choices here. That guy's almost dead. So I guess I'd rather have him sitting out in the open. He's easier to shoot again. All right, and finally, the black triangle. I don't have to draw a card. They're just going to go in and recover. All right, 2 more cards for me. Ooh, this one's great. Bloodlust lets me rally someone, but I don't put an ops complete marker, so they can still do something later. So let's go ahead and do it for one of these riflemen, and they can try to finish that guy off a second later. And not going to discard any. Let's see what happens. Okay, red triangles. So looks like just 1. And he's going to move toward the enemy cautiously, so let's see if they still charge into close combat. Yep, so they're still going to go into close combat. So they want to go to a place with only shaken units, so they're going to go to one of these 2. I think they want us to randomize. So we'll say 1 through 6, 7 through 12. Kind of prefer that, so he'll still be in the open. I imagine this guy will be dead, but hey, if he misses with his 1 attack, I can hit back. But no, I'm gone. Oh, wait a second, I had light wounds. Ignore 1 hit. Applies to leg only. Doesn't say it can't be for assault, so my guy's still alive. Oh yeah, let's get him back in there, see what happens. I just like the chance of him hitting back with his 1 card. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, and draw back up to 4. Oh, another Bloodlust, excellent. Let's see, the only guys who haven't gone are that guy and that guy, which means, remember, they will activate with the correct color or symbol, so pretty sure to go this next turn. I think I'm going to use Bloodlust on the other rifleman here, and then they can, like, both shoot at that guy, for example, or the guy who's sitting there with my machine gunners now. Oh, wait, so neither one did a hit, which means he would retreat back. That's right. Okay, so it is going to be both units left, because remember, now it can match by color or symbol, and they're closer to enemies, so that guy's going to wait, and this guy's going to fire. So he'll be shooting at the injured machine gun. So he's got 2 firepower, +1 from range, -2 for the building, so just 1 card. Come on. Darn it. So our M60 is shaken again. All right, now drawn for the last enemy unit who hasn't gone on the board. They're going to fire at the lowest cover they can shoot at. And so actually that means they're going to shoot at these guys, not them. And this is where we just look at the result because they're not revealed yet. Oh my gosh, 2 hits if they're in regular cover, which is 1 cover factor. If they've been shooting at those guys with 2, it would have been done almost nothing. So it doesn't matter which one I pick, it's going to shake them and then kill them. They have got their first real kill now because I don't have the light wounds to save my guy. Okay, but on a positive note, I'm now free to act until I get that second end of turn card. So let's go ahead and rally my M60 over here. Ooh, at +1 to HEF is the regular infantry fire rate, so that's good. And I can fire with a power. Yeah, let's try to finish this guy off, I think. So let's see, it'd be 2 fire, +1 from the range, that'd be 3, plus the special ability, that'd be 4. So I don't think I need the bullet storm yet. Let's do the regular fire with the power. So 4 hits, but 2 will kill him. That's a miss. That's 1 hit. That's 2 hits. He's done. And then my guy's ops complete from the special power. All right, 3 kills to 1. I'm feeling good. Let's draw another card. Okay, another rally. I think I had... Yeah. So let's... I'm going to play Second Wind on my guy who has a moved or fired marker, and I can remove it from him. So my M60 is not counted as having fired anymore. And then assuming I don't get an end of turn, yes, I'm going to go ahead and use a rally on the same M60 and get rid of the shaken. So now nobody on my side is shaken. Oh, except them, but, oh, and that guy too. I guess we're a little bit worse than I thought. All right, so who's actually left? Just my M60 is the last guy. What can he do? Play a reinforcement card just to draw a new card. And yeah, I think I'll go ahead and do that. I want to try to find an attack. Okay, so I don't have to play any actions, and then I can discard. So I'm going to keep the bullet storm. Let's go ahead and get rid of both these panic/retreats. Jeez, a lot of bullet storms. A scout lets me move, rally. I don't have anybody to rally. Right, so I guess I'll get rid of 2 of those bullet storms. Okay. Still no shooting. I'll use the reinforcement to redraw. Still no end. Ah, there we go. Okay, so M60 never got to go. And I'll keep the... do I want to keep the bullet storm or the rally? I think I'll get more rallies. Let me keep the bullet storm. So we're advancing to round 4. And things are still not looking great, even though I have more units alive. A lot of them are hurt. Going to draw my 3 extra cards. No end turns yet. Ooh, and a lot of fire with power. I like that. Let's check initiative. They're down to 3 spots now, so more likely. No, not with a -5, so we're still going first. And, oh man, I would love if the artillery hit there. Come on. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave my M60 alone. So it's 2 hits after the cover. Okay, a miss and a hit. So they are... Jeez, you guys are always shaking. Okay, I'm first to go. What should I do? I really need to do something about them if I can. See, I have a fire with power, and I can add the bullet storm. That should do a decent amount of damage. Let's try it. Alright, so fire with power on Dixon, M60 supporting. So that's already 1, plus the power 2, plus the range 3, plus the M60 4, plus a bullet storm 5 firepower. -2 for the building, that's 3 against the sappers. Come on, baby. Oh, 1 hit. Ah, miss, come on. Ah, jeez, I still can't get them even flipped. Alright, not the best result I was hoping for, but oh well. Let's see what they do in response. Okay, red triangle, green circle. None of those. That's great. So nobody attacks back. I like that. And yeah, I was going to say, we have to have the other end turns coming up soon. The deck's pretty empty. That's one of them. Okay, but not the other one yet. To get unexpected cover and light wounds. I like that a lot. And I still have another fire with power. Or a move and fire. And honestly, I'm going to draw again with the reinforcements. Okay, so I have a fire with power and a not fire with power. Let's see, I guess that rifle could try to shoot at them. Let's go ahead and do that with the power. So rifles still get +1 firepower at 2 range, so this will be 3. And then because you use a power 4, and that's only a regular building, so 3 cards against him. Good, good. We got a hit, and a second hit, and I almost killed him, but let's see who it actually is. Just regular rifle units, so they are reduced and shaken. Love that. So it looks like the turn's about to end, but I'll keep all these because they might keep me alive. All right, solo card. Black triangle and circle. So just going to be over there. And what's the fire at the nearest unit? I wonder who that's going to be. So let's see, that's 2 plus the range 3. I mean, might as well try to stay alive, right? Since probably the round's about to end anyway. So I can subtract 1 from his attack, make it only 2, and then I can ignore 1 hit. So if they only hit us once, I'll still be alive. So 1. That's a miss. Hey, there we go. And 2. Okay, so the round did not end yet, surprisingly. But with light wounds, my guy is somehow still ticking. But now the round is clearly going to end because... Well, I was going to say the end turn card had to be in the last 3 cards, but those with good eyes probably realized I drew it a while ago and didn't realize I drew it. So we'll just end the turn right now because clearly I messed up, and I'll just keep the 1 card I have. So going into round 5, let's see, just a quick check. So I've killed 3 guys, they've killed only 1, luckily. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. They have 1, 2, 3, so I'm actually pretty well ahead if I can just hang on. Bring up to 4. Oh, got some rallies. Nice. Let's see if they're going first. Yes, they are. So they've got initiative, but let's roll for our artillery. Hit them. Come on. 12. Yes, that's good, right? That's this guy. Yes. And he is already almost dead. 2 attacks. Boom! He is gone. Don't have to waste my action shooting him. All right, so that's pretty awesome. They're down to 2 guys, which means they will, of course, probably activate immediately. Oh, yeah, because don't even care about the symbol. They're both adjacent, so they're going to go. Let's see. It's going to be a fire attack. I mean, it's not great either way. I guess I'll have these guys fire. So the sappers just get unshaken, but the riflemen are going to shoot. So I've only got 1 after cover, but they do hit, which means my M60 is just a minute from death's door again. As for this guy... He wants to move. Oh, support move. Let's see what that'll have him do. Well, in this case, basically means if somebody's already in line of sight, he's just going to shoot. And he's shooting at the nearest. And yeah, he's going to throw a satchel bomb for 5 damage. So let's see if my guy could survive 5. Nope, he's gone. Alright, so that's their second kill. But the nice part is they are done for the moment. So let's see if I can bring some pain. So let me fire with an attack. Let's unshake some people first. So unshake my leader. Do I have a bloodlust? No. Actually, let's unshake the M60 because I don't think it'll be attacking anyway. Okay, I'm going to keep on not discarding again if I can help it. Ooh, there's another firepower. He can shoot over there. I like that. First, I've got a rally. Let's go ahead and rally my M60 over there so it doesn't die, hopefully. Another firepower. Let's do reinforcement, see what else I can get. I love a bloodlust. Or Bulletstorm, I'll definitely take that. Let's try to finish off this sapper finally, I think. So we're going to have this rifleman shoot with power. So it's within 2, so he'll be 3, 4. I'll do Bulletstorm for 5, which means minus the building is 3 on the sapper. Come on, let's get this guy. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, yes! Boom! Took out their nastiest guy in that hex. And redrawing. Still no end turns. I got another rally. Yeah, I guess my leader can go. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mark my rifleman. So sure, let's rally my leader. It is good. I actually have all my guys back to being kind of at full capacity in a way. Oh man, now I get Bloodlust? Really? Well, I guess I'll hang on to that. But I can fire with power this rifleman. Can he actually hurt them? He won't get the bonus from rain, so he'll just be 3 combat minus 1. It'll just be a 1 draw. Is it even worth it? Let's try reinforcement, see what we draw. We haven't even gotten 1 end turn yet. Okay. Well, sure. I guess I'll go for it, and that'll end the round. So he's going to shoot with a power at that guy. Just a single draw in the wash. Hey, but I got a hit, so that guy will be shaken going into the next round like that. So when there are no units left, the round immediately ends, which means all 4 end turns are still on the deck, and it's going to come faster. I'm going to keep the Bloodlust. That'll be great if they shake me. Let's draw for initiative. Very likely they'll get it. Yep. Let's roll for the artillery. Yeah, I was going to say, pretty decent chance they don't hit anything now. All right, and let's do initiative. Red circle, so since there's only 2 guys left, even a black or green circle would go, but here it's just him. Oh, but it's a random event, so he doesn't actually activate yet. So did we get the scenario designated event? Let's see which one this one used. It's confusion, which means an ops complete for one of my random characters. Let's see, there's 5 guys left, so 1, 2... Oh no, it's 6 guys, so we'll use the D12. And the 12 would be, I guess, this guy, the furthest right. That's a bummer. He was one of my best capable of shooting somebody, clearly. Alright, that didn't actually activate anybody, so they're still ready to go. Could shoot on them again while they're shaken, try to injure them. Do I have anything to help out with that? But it's not a power one, so actually... No, I wouldn't be able to get through the building. Though they're shaken, can I get in there and, like, shoot them? See, I only move 2 when I'm injured, so 1, 2... No, I'm not even close to getting into the building. See, if I move one of them into the same space, they could combine their fire. Is that worth it? Well, for now, I think I'm just going to discard those 2 and not take a turn yet. We are activating everybody because triangle and circle doesn't care about color. And it's going to be these guys first. So he's going to fire at Nearest. That's just 1 combat card against my M60. He's done this before and he missed this time. Excellent. As for this guy, he's just going to become Unshaken, which is a bit of a bummer, but they are done moving, so that's cool. Get my 2 cards. There's my first end turn, but not another one yet. I got to fire with power. Okay. Here we go. Flanking fire lets you shoot from 2 different hexes, so I could have both of them gang up on that guy. Or I could have, like, all of them gang up on him. Except they don't have anybody really strong, so yeah, let's go and do flanking fire on him. So that'll be 4 firepower, and actually if I make the M60 the main guy, it'll be 5 because of the range bonus. If we were attacking from multiple hex sides, like from down here, we'd get a 1 bonus, but I'd rather just leave those guys to attack on their own. So that'll be 5 total, minus 2 for the building, so 3 cards. An end turn. Alright, so this will be the last thing of this turn, and a miss, and, geez, really? All we did was shake him? But the turn is ending, so I think we're gonna win here. Can't see how we don't. I'll keep my fire with power. Draw 3 cards. And let's do initiative. 0, so I actually do go first now. And last artillery of the game. Come on, guys, get it right. 1, 2, no! I think I might have done this wrong. It's 3 firepower plus 1 for each extra unit in the hex. So it'll actually be 4 minus 2 here, so 2 evenly distributed. There's 1 hit and 1 miss. So I have to shake everybody before I do anything nastier. So I guess I'll shake Dixon. Alright. That was a bit of a bummer. Do I still have that? No, I don't have the Bloodlust. I thought I'd kept it. Well, you know what? Let's have these guys just fire hard with a power. So the rifle will lead. That's 2, 3, 4, and then black will contribute. That's 5 firepower against them. Minus 2 for the building, so 3. It's a hit, miss, hit. Yes. They are reduced and shaken, which basically guarantees me the win because now neither guy can actually activate when they get their turn. But we're still draw for it, so they become unshaken, and that's it for them. Right, come on, I want to get one more guy. Let's do reinforcements. I want to get like a Bloodlust or something. Alright, so I'll just discard 2. Okay, we're getting down to where we're definitely going to get the bad cards, but I'll discard 2 again. There's a Bloodlust. Alright, so I'm going to use a Bloodlust on my leader there, get him unshaken. And I'm going to have him fire with power. So what is that? 1 plus grenade 2, range 3, machine gun 4, minus 2, 2 hits. We just need 1 to kill this guy. That'll do it. That's also one of our end turns. So bye-bye. Alright, and then we did not get the last end turn. Is there any way for us to hurt this guy? We still didn't get any, like, combined fire. Ooh, I could scout into close combat. Well, I'm hurt, so that's not a good winning move. Yeah, let's just do a firepower and see if we get lucky. So that's, I got just only 1 damage. Not even worth it. And I missed. Alright, so that will close things out because my M60 can't do much on its own. But yeah, I killed 6 of theirs. They only killed 2 of mine. Man, it got better after that first really harsh turn. And I have a bunch of buildings. They only have 1. So we have, I guess, kicked him out of this village. So that was 65, specifically the Alone in the Jungle solo mode. And if you want to see my review of solo play specifically, click the link that just popped up. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.